Now, in this perpendicular bisector theorem, we have another part which is called as part 2, which is similar to the converse of the perpendicular bisector theorem. What does that state? If any point is equidistant from the endpoints of the segment, it lies on the perpendicular bisector of the segment. That means they have already given that if there is a point P, okay, if it is equidistant from the endpoints of the segment, that is PA is equal to PB. This is given to us. Then we have to say that this point P lies on the perpendicular bisector of the segment. So what is given? That point P is any point equidistant from the endpoints A and B. So endpoints of segment AB, which are A and B. Therefore, PA is equal to PB. What have we to prove? We have to prove that point P lies on the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. So same way here we do a construction by taking a midpoint M. On segment AB, take the midpoint M of segment AB and draw line PM. So this is the line PM. Now, in triangle PAM, they have said in triangle PAM and triangle PBM. So we have two triangles here. Okay. First of all, we know that segment PA is congruent to segment PB. From where did I get it? From given. So we write here given. We write given. Okay, next is segment AM congruent to segment BM. AM congruent to BM. How? Here we said we are taking the point M, which is the midpoint of segment AB. So AM will be equal to BM. So from where will we get it? From the construction. Also, in these two triangles, you will find this segment PM is common to both these triangles. So we can write segment PM congruent to segment PM, and they have given the reason common side. Therefore, we can say that these two triangles are congruent. Triangle PAM is congruent to triangle PBM. How? All the three times we have taken three pairs of sides. Therefore, which test will it be? SSS test. So, by the SSS test. Also, notice how they have named the triangles. The side represented with three lines and then to the side represented with two lines. So, PAM. Here also side represented with three lines to the side represented with two lines. So, PBM. So, if these two triangles are congruent, we can also say that angle PMA is congruent to angle PMB, and this is angle. So, this will be CACT. But angle PMA plus angle PMB is actually equal to 180 degree. So, we write here angle PMB is equal to 180 degrees. How is it equal to 180 degrees? Because angle PMA and angle PMB are a linear pair. So, you can write here linear pair. Okay. Then, in place of angle PMB, I can again write angle PMA. Why? Because angle PMA is congruent to angle PMB. Therefore, angle PMA plus angle PMA equal to 180 degrees. The reason? Because angle PMB is equal to angle PMA. So, if angle PMA is added twice, what does it become? Twice angle PMA is equal to what? 1 80 degree. So if I want to find only what is angle PMA, what will it be? We take 2 to the other side, therefore it will be 180 degree upon 2. Therefore angle PMA is equal to 90 degree. Now look at the figure. If angle PMA is 90 degrees, isn't segment PM perpendicular to segment AB? Yes. So we have already said that this line PM is perpendicular to segment AB. Now also we have to confirm that it is the bisector of segment AB. But is it the bisector of segment AB? Yes, because we had taken this point M, which is the midpoint of segment AB, and PM passes through this. So see here, segment PM perpendicular to segment AB, but point M is the midpoint of segment AB. Therefore, line PM is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. So, point P, this point P is on the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. So, that was to prove point P is on the perpendicular bisector of segment AB.